Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled January meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Tuxedo Park. Let's start by standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Absolutely. Mayor Citron,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Lindsay,
Present.
Trustee Shara,
Present.
Trustee Tenari,
Present.
Trustee Turner.
Present via Zoom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, good evening, everyone. One announcement I have to make. The board last month passed a resolution to create the position of alternate member for the three appointed boards, the Planning Board, the Board of Zoning Appeals, and the Bar. Tonight, I'm going to nominate someone to fill the position of alternate member for the Bar. However, the positions of alternate for the Planning Board and the Board of Zoning Appeals remain open. And I invite anyone who has any interest in serving the community and becoming an alternate member. And I will tell you that the alternate member will play a very important role. The alternate member will attend all meetings, will participate in all discussions regarding applications, and will vote on any applications when one of the regular members is not present. In other words, if there's only 4 people who show up and the 5th member is absent, the alternate will have the opportunity to vote on the application. So I would request that anyone that has any interest send me their resume or drop it off at Village Hall, and we'll get the process started. Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor, any comments?
Yeah, the community solar program will be up and running by the end of January. We have an updated agreement for you to sign. When the agreement was proposed to the town board, Chris Casker had asked if there could be $35 per subscriber given to the town. So I said, well, what about the village? And they said, sure. So I have a new agreement and for you, I guess I could just send it to the attorneys to review, but it's the same one we already signed.
Sure.
Thanks to Chris Casker. And I would, I talked to Chris that it makes sense to me that the money we would get could be put towards hiring the assistant we use from time to time to help us update our clean energy and climate smart documentations.
So the $35 is paid by,
But it's paid by Power Market,
okay,
who is the administrator for the community solar program.
essentially a bonus for getting
It's a
people to sign
bonus.
up.
Yes,
No complaints
that's
about that.
great. Yes. So let's see, I have something down below under climate smart, but the Recreation Advisory Committee in the town contacted you and me and they're looking for members of their committee. And they do a lot of good programs, so it would be great if someone from the village would be interested in joining that committee.
Thank you. Yes, anyone that has some interest in recreation, whether it be for adults or children, the town recreation department is very active, planning events. And at this point, there is no representative from Tuxedo Park on the Recreation Advisory Board. So anyone that has an interest in that subject and would like to get involved, please send your resume or just an email to the deputy mayor, and she'll follow up with you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Trustee Scherer.
I have nothing.
Trustee Tenari.
Nothing for me.
Trustee Turner.
Nothing.
Okay, great. That leaves us, the next item is public comment. We'll start in the room. Is there anyone in the room that wishes to make public comment? Seeing none, how about on Zoom? Anyone, raise your hand if you can. Otherwise, just let me know if there's any public comment to be made. Anyone on Zoom wish to speak? Yes, Lucy Yang.
She's.
Hi.
You're muted.
Hi.
Good evening, Lucy.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for allowing me a minute to just share with the board what happened last Friday. I was taking a walk around the lake, and when I got to East Lake Drive, a large white dog came at me, and I was scared in that moment. And he was coming up behind me hard, and he did bump my hand, and that made me more scared because I didn't know if he would bite me the next time. Then he was circling me as I kept trying to walk. He would circle me, and finally he came up from the front and then started growling at me, and it was pretty bad. So I didn't know what to do. I thought I should stop moving. I didn't know if he was upset that I was trying to walk. I didn't know. I'd not seen this dog before, but when he started growling, that made it worse. And so a very kind neighbor came out of her house, and she asked if I was okay. I said, no, I'm scared. So I was just standing in the middle of the road, and she went back into her home, got on her shoes, and took her dog out on a leash. And then this dog went towards her dog, and I thanked her profusely, and I said, I'm sorry if I think I should make my getaway now. So I owe her a better thanks than that, but she said, yes, I should go. So I left, and that was that. So, it was a small moment in time, but in the moment I was pretty scared.
We're sorry that you had that experience. Were you able to get a photograph of the animal?
I took a quick video when he was in front of me, and I took a quick photo. I don't know how to send that to a meeting.
Well, that's okay. We don't expect you to do that, but were you able to identify the owner of the dog in any way?
No, the neighbor thought the dog's name was Zazu,
Mhm.
and that it belonged to a neighbor across the street on the other side of East Lake, but I don't know the dog or the owner. And
Okay.
she was very kind to have her dog be a magnet for the white dog and bring him over to her.
Well, we appreciate you telling us that. You may not be aware, but I guess a couple of years ago, an attempt was made to amend the village code to prohibit unattended dogs from roaming the village. And at that time, the board decided to reject that proposal. And perhaps the story you're telling tonight would allow us to revisit the issue of whether we should have, I personally supported the resolution, whether we should prohibit unattended dogs from roaming without their owners to avoid circumstances similar to what you went through last week.
I think it's worth noting as well that our village policy is basically in conflict with the club's policy, which is no dogs unleashed on property.
Mhm.
And that creates confusion, right? Where are the boundaries? And so I think it, particularly given what she said, given that conflict in policy, it's probably something worth revisiting.
Okay, well, we'll put it on the agenda for next month to discuss it.
Yeah.
Any other trustees have any comments on the issue of unattended dogs roaming the village?
I would support it.
Okay, great.
Support prohibiting that.
So it looks like, Lucy, your unfortunate incident has garnered some support among the board to change the law. And the thing about it is, in your instance, maybe you didn't have the opportunity to call the police, but if the police are empowered to act
Right.
upon getting a call, there's a dog wandering around and the owner isn't there, it might avoid a similar circumstance. And we'd of course have to have the officers trained in how to deal with dogs generally, but it's certainly a first step. And I'm sorry that you had to be the catalyst for it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your support. I did, in that moment when I was frozen on the road and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't think I could move forward with him in front of me, I did call my husband to come get me. But and if he wasn't working from home that day, I would have called my contractor and asked him to come get me. But thankfully, the neighbor came out of her house, so that was.
We're
She came out
certainly
because
glad you weren't injured. I think the chief has a comment. He's here. Who's going to give a
Yeah.
report.
she
Go ahead.
came out because she heard all that barking. She heard all that barking, and that was enough to
Wow.
open her from her
It's
house.
not good. The
good evening,
the
Chief.
dog was actually barking at you?
Yes, he was barking and growling, and that's why she came out.
We should find out whose dog it is, because that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I think we already know whose dog it is. There's a
This is the chief.
running around quite often. I could have one of the officers, if you have a good time, contact you tomorrow and just at least to file an incident report, which would always be helpful. There are things in the village code though for dangerous dog or something like that, so there still could be some kind of village, violation or something we probably could do, but I mean, the first step always it would be just to take an incident report, so if you have a time or anything, or if you want to stop down, we could clearly do a report for you.
That's addressed to you, Lucy.
Okay, I have to run errands tomorrow. I can stop by the police department on my way out. Does that help? Or would you rather?
Anytime you like would be wonderful.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks.
And the thing I feel like every owner would say, but my dog would never do anything. Mine's a good dog, and I'm sure he's a very good dog, maybe at home. But
And bring your photos and your video so the
Okay.
police can get a copy of it. Thank you.
will
Okay.
do. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Any other member of the public wish to comment at this point in the meeting? There's another opportunity at the end of the meeting. Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the reports. The court report is attached to the record. So, Chief, you can take the podium again and give us your report.
Right, good evening. For the month of December, the Village Police Department responded to 103 calls. We had 1 property damage accident, issued 7 uniform traffic tickets, gave out 20 warnings, 3 fire alarms, 6 intrusion alarms, 2 medical calls. We assisted the town police on 2 separate occasions, patrolled 2,451 miles, and had approximately 636 vehicles per day come through the park in December.
Okay, any questions to the chief? We'll move to one of the new items, one of the old business items, so that we can discuss it at this point. We'll skip to discussion of installation of camera at the north gate. As everyone knows or should know, we put in an electronic gate at the north gate for employee use only. But it was my desire to have that gate, even though it's for employees only, and every employee has a clicker in their car to enter the village through that particular gate, that it's important that we monitor that gate. And I had asked the chief to look into installing a camera or cameras in the vicinity of the sewer plant, focused in on the gate. And the chief has a report tonight with respect to the progress he's made, with one little glitch relating to Chinese-made products. Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, with the system we have right now, I was able to obtain a grant last year, which could pay for part of this. But the only problem with that is the money that would be utilized from the grant. We can't buy the same products we have because the government has put a ban on any Chinese software because they're have information that they could be hacked into. So no more government, schools, or any of that are allowed to use that. So unfortunately, that has made the price go up quite significantly from going to some different brands. So the original quote I got was for the water plant was $8,328. I spoke to the gentleman again today and told him where we could maybe scale down and we figured I could possibly use some of the grant money, and we could replace our DVR boxes in all our locations and use some of that grant money, and that would be possibly like a good foundation for the future, a much better product, and for the future we'd be able to build on that, and that would meet the requirements for the government, because I think that's a Samsung product, or it's made in Taiwan, so that would be acceptable. So it'd be a good start, but we could probably just if I could get that, I'm trying to get that scaled down at the water plant a little bit.
In the sewer plant.
At the sewer plant.
Yeah.
I apologize. I think we could still get that price down quite significantly from that, because I don't think we would need as many cameras as they originally want us to put out there, just more focused on the gates.
Yep.
Instead of having the whole area covered 100%.
Yeah. It's only accessible by employees, so it's not a general entrance or exit for the general public.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, but Mayor, I totally agree. I think that would be a worthwhile investment to have a camera there.
Or two cameras, depending on what kind of coverage they have. So hopefully next month you'll have the final quote for us, and then we can move on authorizing you to obtain the
If
equipment.
there's a specific number you think would be more acceptable for a project, I mean, you can let me know, but I think what he said, if we canceled out three, we could probably cancel out 2 or 3 of the cameras and still get good coverage. At least we would have on both the entrance and exit points, which would be the only thing that we would really need.
Okay.
For the most part.
Sounds great. So if you get back to us between now and February, the February meeting, put it on the agenda and we'll get the work done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thanks for coming in. All right, next we have the DPW report. I'd like to let everybody know that the DPW has been working very hard for several days on a water leak in the vicinity of Pawtucket and Camp Comfort. They were out there and had to put in what they call an insertion valve in order to complete the work. They've been working very hard, and Jeff asked me if he could be excused from this meeting. I told him that would be fine. It's just another example that we really got to get to work on the water distribution system
That one's
to
not on
avoid
the
these
list.
sort of things.
Yeah. I was really hoping Jeff was going to be here tonight because, one of my recurring themes is when he's fixing these water leaks, is he reporting them into Weston and Sampson, our engineer that maintains the GIS system, so that we actually have a record of these fixes. What was the issue? What did we do about it? It's all really important information to get in. And I think I missed the last meeting. I asked him at the meeting prior to, as of Monday, that information had not been shared with Weston and Sampson.
Mm.
So this is a really important issue.
Mhm.
Again, I was hoping he was going to be here tonight, but it's one, Mayor, I want you in particular to be aware of and focused on, because our GIS system is, what is the saying? Garbage in, garbage out.
Okay. Well, I will.
I totally agree with Trustee Scherer. I mean, we should be tracking that with real focus.
And it's not difficult. It's simply an email saying, I just fixed this on this location, and this is what was wrong, and this is what I did to fix it.
And this number of yards of pipe, et cetera. Yeah, we should know
100%.
that.
It is. I can tell you that the fix is not complete.
I'm not talking about this.
I
fix.
understand.
I'm
You're
talking about prior
past-
fixes.
On an ongoing basis, we should be
Yeah.
registering all the
I
fixes.
understand your point, Trustee Scherer, Trustee Turner. I will speak to him tomorrow.
And John sent him an email, copied the planning committee, I think 2 days ago, John?
Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning, yep. Should probably forward that email to you so you have it.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll do that now,
I'll deal with I'll speak to Jeff tomorrow.
please.
Okay.
Excuse me, but following up on that, we also need Weston Sampson's waiting for the road priorities and which roads we want.
You
have
saw my
course.
email.
I saw that you
Yes,
sent that
yeah.
email.
Okay.
So, I mean, we have Ward paving.
All right.
or
I'll speak to
really-
Jeff about marking up that map as
We don't want to lose the opportunity again.
I did. Everyone agreed with those road designations?
I'm fine with
You're
it.
fine with it? I've
Yeah.
recorded them from our last meeting, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, next is John Ledwith.
Most permitted projects are proceeding normally. I did get some correspondence from the contractor for the property at the bottom of Summit Road on the left-hand side. That project had stopped approximately a year and a half ago. They are restarting that project, and I did tell him to submit a new building permit application as everything really has expired, and also give me a punch list of what items remain. I can tell you that 80% to 85% of the inside of the house is finished. It's a lot of final stuff that has to be done. And then obviously a lot of landscaping on the outside that was previously approved by the bar. We did capture one new violation near the end of Crow's Nest Road. I did speak to that person. I met with him there, told him what was needed. And he submitted some applications recently, but he needs to submit some more additional information. Other than that, all the boards are fairly busy. Planning board was busy with a new home application at this past Tuesday's meeting. And the BAR has a fairly, constant flow of applicants. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Water Department reports attached to the record and was provided to the trustees in advance. Treasurer reports from Elizabeth was also attached to the record. So the next item is approval of, the next item is a resolution. Be it resolved that the board add all written reports to the permanent record. I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Tenari. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5-0. Okay. Approval of the minutes of December 18th. Has everyone had the opportunity, has received the minutes? It's prepared by Elizabeth. Okay, I'll make the motion, then we can discuss whether there's any corrections. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approve the minutes from the regular Board of Trustees monthly meeting on December 18th of 2025. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by the Deputy Mayor. Any comment, discussion, changes, additions, or deletions from anyone on the minutes?
No.
I'm going to abstain from the vote, just since I wasn't here.
Yeah, we learned from Jared that you can actually.
Apparently,
Yeah.
which I don't
Okay.
understand. I'm still going to abstain.
All right, that's fine. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
4-0, one abstention by trustee Scherer. Okay. Now we turn to the deputy mayor who has an update on the climate smart community.
Yes, I'm very excited after 6 years of working towards climate smart community certification. We were able to submit our all our documentation on all the actions we've taken, and the town as well. So if we, this is very difficult to achieve. And if we do get the certification, we get priority on grant applications from that are awarded by the DEC. So it'll be, keep our fingers crossed. And I just want to thank so many people that, Jim Hayes, of course, has been instrumental, and John, Fred Buell, and then from the town, Peter Melch is the one who really made the submission happen with Claudia Bakhtiari. We had prior members, Jane Garofano and Bill Lemansky from the town. So there's just been so many people that have helped, and hopefully we'll have a press release to prepare in a couple of weeks.
Sean, when do you think you'll hear back?
When I'm hoping within the month, so.
Okay.
Wow, that's great.
I think we should add to that
you.
list. I think we should add to that list of people who did a lot, Michelle Lindsay.
Yeah. Well said.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Great job. 6 years. That's incredible. Wow.
Thank you.
It's a long time, but we got there.
Thank you so much. The next item, I'll turn to trustee Scherer, riparian buffers.
So if you remember, I think it must have been two meetings ago, the one that I was at. Jim Hayes was here and we discussed hiring a consulting firm, putting out an RFP for consultants to come in and do an evaluation of our riparian zone, which is really the vegetative buffer around the lake, and provide recommendations to the village on either what individual landowners can do, what maybe the village can do. For what it's worth, the Tuxedo Club obviously has a lot of land abutting the lake, and they've looked at riparian barriers. So this is really a consultant that we wanted to hire. I think we put a contract limit of 10,000 on it. The deadline for those bids was Monday. We received 2 proposals. One was from Princeton Hydro, who we've worked with in the past. The other is from our lakes manager, GEI Consulting. After reviewing those, having consulting with Jim Hayes, who's chair of the Lake Committee, our recommendation would be to go with Princeton Hydro. It was a much more in-depth proposal, gave us confidence that they and again, we've worked with them in the past. They were great. Jim has. So our recommendation would be to move forward with Princeton Hydro.
Yeah, I think we get a lot for that amount of money.
Right.
I mean, it was pretty extensive, and then I see the price, I'm like, really all of that?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very good.
So Deputy Mayor, you're okay with it?
Yes, I am.
Budgetary?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, so the budget line would be 1989.4 in the water budget. Elizabeth. Okay, okay,
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
thank you.
You to do the honor of making the motion, Trustee Sharon?
Sure, wow. Okay, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees authorize the expenditure of up to $10,000 to Princeton Hydro to conduct a riparian zone vulnerability assessment for Tuxedo Lake to be charged to 1989.4 Lakes Management.
Is there a second?
Second,
Second by the Deputy Mayor. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Has anyone from Workers' Comp from PERMA shown up yet? Is that Joe Strander?
I'm with
Hi.
Perma.
How
Hi,
are you?
Jordan Ostrander.
Okay, Jordan, thanks for joining us. Let me just make a basic introduction. In addition to all the liability coverage and property coverage we get through Marshall and Sterling, there's a state mandate, as probably everyone's aware, that you got to have workers' compensation coverage. And PERMA has been providing, as a third-party administrator, that workers' compensation coverage for the village. At the last meeting, I know there was some questions with respect to what they do and how it's provided and how the carriers are selected. And I asked someone to come in from PERMA to give us just a brief rundown on what is the business of third-party administrator for a workers' compensation policy. And Jordan has been good enough to come and give us a brief presentation on what it is that his company does and how they determine what our premium is going to be. Go ahead,
Sure.
sir.
Yeah, absolutely. So happy to come on and explain it. We have a long relationship with the village. You guys have been with PERMA for over 30 years now. We do not only it's not a traditional third-party administrator relationship. PERMA is a self-insurance municipal pool where we work across New York State. We have over 800 municipalities across the state that come together and pool their workers' compensation needs together. We don't do any commercial carrier, we don't do any kind of other business except municipalities in New York State. And we do quote and insure the village on a first dollar basis. So the village does not pay its own claims. They pay PERMA annual premium, which we calculate as underwriters based on your loss experience and your exposure. And we come up with the price, and then PERMA is responsible for all losses that result in the policy period. That's pretty much the basic rundown. We provide risk management services. If you need any loss control, we come in for risk inspections. We'll point out any kind of PESH violations that we see, so you can get ahead of that and get them taken care of before PESH comes in and dings you. If you need any kind of special loss control services, you can certainly reach out to your account manager here at PERMA. We have a huge portfolio of services available, trainings. We have all sorts of initiatives that are available to you as a member of PERMA. We recently rolled out a points program that's a rewards program for our members, where you can go onto a portal and redeem your points for PPE and other services that you need. So being a part of PERMA, it's not just a workers' comp program. We don't just handle your claims. There's all sorts of other perks and services that we offer on top of handling your workers' comp claims for you.
So Can I ask some questions?
Of course, that's why he's here.
So I have a couple of questions. One, how do you compare municipalities, and like how do our premiums compare to other municipalities? Obviously, it's based on, the claims history, and how well are we taking advantage of the perks, the non-workers comp perks?
Sure. So that's my area of expertise. I'm an underwriter by trade. What we do is we take a look at your overall exposure. We audit the payroll. We take a look at whatever you have, and then we will calculate an experience modification factor the same way an insurance carrier would. We evaluate up to 10 years of losses, your loss exposure, and what your history's been. And then as underwriters, we will come up with an appropriate price that's competitive with the market and also appropriate for what we feel that the losses are going to be for the upcoming year. So that's pretty much a basic rundown of how we price it.
Yep.
As far as engagement with PERMA and what you guys have taken advantage of, I don't have that in front of me.
Just back on the pricing, I'm just curious, like how do we compare relative to other municipalities?
Let me take a look and see here. I mean, experience modification factor right now for the renewal is a 0.7, which is a credit mod. If you're not familiar with the experience modification factor, you can think of it as if your experience mod was a 1.0, that's a neutral mod. It doesn't hurt or harm you, or hurt or help you. And a credit mod of a 0.7, that means right off the bat, you're getting 30% credit off of your workers' comp.
Right.
So we take the rates that are published by the state, by NYSERB. We plug your exposure in there, the payroll divided by 100 times the rate, we get your loss costs. Right off the bat, we're applying a 30% credit based on your mod, and then we will apply discounting and stuff on top of that. I mean, I could probably try to find some similar sized exposures and see where you compare. And we could
That's
probably
fine.
get you,
You've answered the question. Are we taking advantage of all the perks, points, and redeeming our points?
The
And
point system just started. I
Okay.
received an email a week ago, I think.
Yeah, so I was just going to say the points program just started last year. Right now, you guys have about 300 points, which is $300, give or take. They're 1-for-1 point per dollar. I think you have about 286 total, and you might have some more coming. And we have a portal. It's like a credit cards reward program. The same idea. You go on. If you see something you like on the portal, you can cash your points in for it. There's vendors on there, all sorts of stuff. And then
Airline tickets to Hawaii.
there is gift cards on there. If you want to, if you have like a safety day or something, and you want to raffle off a gift card, you can redeem a Chipotle gift card or something and give it away to your folks.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Trustee Turner, do you have, this is your field, I think, at least partially.
That's
You have any questions for?
No. Thank you for coming today. This is very helpful.
All right.
Of course.
I have one question.
Sure.
Just a numbers question. So last year, I was advised by the village clerk that our premium was a little over 46,000. This renewal period, it's down to 42,000. Would that be because we have a good loss history? We're a safe village and no one seems to be getting hurt on the job?
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood, I don't like to jinx anybody, but the village has been great for the last, I'd say 7-8 years. You guys haven't had any significant injuries, which is great to hear. Rates are down. Your mod's about the same. You haven't had any real, claims in your mod for a few years now. So the rates are down. And PERMA's rates overall are down. PERMA's in a great financial position. We're a not-for-profit. We're owned by our membership, and the better PERMA's doing, the better our members do. So we always try to lower our rate. Anytime that the pool's strong, we pass those savings right along to the membership.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from anybody on the board?
Ever see things go down?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem. Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
All right. So he's off.
Yes.
I invited NICOM, New York. What is it? NICOM is the New York
Conference of,
Conference of Mayors,
Mayors.
thank you. New York Conference of Mayors, a brain fart. They've set up a similar program. And I asked a representative from NICOM's workers' comp plan to come at 8 o'clock to speak to us. What we know is because the plan for PERMA renews on February 1st, there's not going to be sufficient time for the NICOM people to evaluate us and quote a premium this year. But I thought we'd get a little bit of an introduction because they're soliciting business.
And we've been with PERMA for 30 years.
Yes.
Wow.
It would be good to just make sure,
Price check.
yeah,
Yeah.
have a gut price.
Yeah, they'll be able, you know, we'll compare.
Yeah.
But the comparison won't be applicable till next year.
That's fine.
Okay, so at 8 o'clock, someone else is going to join us.
Right.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right, we'll deal with the resolution on PERMA after we hear from NICOM. Okay. Next, now we have some new business. The first item for new business is the Arch Pool Management Service Agreement. I think you all got copies of Katie Mullen's explanation as to the changes. Apparently tonight, if I sign it tonight, we get an extra $500 credit.
Oh, yeah, it is the.
Right, it's
Yeah.
tonight. So since Katie's not here to explain, she did tell us the costs and the changes a little bit more, but there's an extra weekend involved. I think you all read it.
Right.
So does anybody have any questions or comments about this management services agreement for this coming summer?
On here.
No?
No? Okay,
I would just highlight that, they are very limited to maybe no other options.
well, we know that from last year's RFP.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And also, Matt, a question for you. And Katie was saying that if we sign it now, it gives them more time to get the people and.
Yes, they should be able to plan a lot better. Last year, it's probably my fault, but last year we waited till very close to the season to actually sign it. And he claimed that he wasn't able to get the top people. And actually, there was a village resident who was previously at the WeWa, and they assigned that resident to another kind of nearby, and they were upset about that. But yeah, doing it earlier will be better. And Katie's been on them about training people, so this will help with that.
Great.
Okay, great.
But I think the cost is an extra $2 a day because it's the totals went up, but there's another week in the season this year. So
Okay, so I'll leave it to you to make the motion.
which one
I
is
feel like
this?
we're in training.
Okay.
Spread the wealth.
Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees authorize the mayor to sign the Arch Pool Management Service Agreement for the 2026 season of Weewa Beach in the amount of $43,559.40 to be charged to 7140.4 recreation expenses contract.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Second by trustee Turner. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thank you. The issue of how we're going to fund this will be discussed next month, as we all understand that. Okay, great. All right. Every year we've got to deal with grievance day. It's always a pleasant experience. So we've got to schedule grievance day. So I'll make the following motion. Be it resolved to schedule tax grievance day on Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. Now, how would you like to do it, guys? Would you want to do 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 9?
I responded to, I think Jed's email. Jed had a preference for earlier. I definitely have a preference for earlier as well.
Yeah.
But can be available.
Yeah, either works, but 4 to 8 works a little bit better.
So we only need 3, right? Because I do have a tentative business trip that
I think we have 3 with Jed, me, and the mayor, and Michelle.
For 2 hours.
Yeah.
She's for 2 hours. Okay, 4 p.m.
I
Does
think
that
we're
work?
good,
4 to
yeah.
8? Okay.
Yeah.
Be it resolved to schedule tax grievance day on Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Second by trustee Tenari. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Moving along, Pond and Lake Algae Treatment Contract. It worked out for us last year. We
Yeah.
got that contract.
Yeah.
We needed the service.
Yeah.
They came, they
Yeah.
took care of the problem.
Yeah,
So they were good
I
and
agree.
we ought to rehire them.
I agree.
Okay. Make the following motion. Be resolved that the Board of Trustees authorize the mayor to sign a contract with the Pond and Lake Company for $3,940 to be charged to 1989.4 Lakes Management Contractual. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Scherer. All in favor?
Aye.
Actually, Mayor, one question.
Yeah.
So I'm supportive of the contract, but which lake, is that for all three?
That's for all three. Yeah.
All three. Yeah, it's all three. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it allows us to get ahead of algae blooms
Yeah, yeah.
and everything.
So it's money well spent.
Okay. Now, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, we have a candidate for the Board of Architectural Review as an alternate member. I sent everybody her resume. I know that I, together with the deputy mayor and chair of the bar, had an opportunity to interview her. I think
I had a call with her also.
you had a call with her as well. Her name is Christina Nemec. She lives on Tower Hill, and she has quite an impressive resume. For those of you that had a chance to look at it, and let me just pull it out and highlight it. Ms. Nemec has a tremendous amount of volunteer experience. She's the chair of the Preservation Board at Thousand Island Park, where she has a second home. She is serving as an alternate on the Planning Board and the Architectural Review Board of the town of Tuxedo. She's the director of the Thousand Island Park Corporation, an incorporated village up in Jefferson County. She's on the board of directors of the Landmark Society, and she is the past president of the Tuxedo Union Free School District parent-teacher organization. In addition, with respect to her education, she has a certificate in she's expecting a certificate in historic preservation from SUNY in May of 2026. So based upon her experience, based upon everything she said to us during the course of an interview, I make the following motion. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees appoint Christina Nemec as an alternate board member to the Board of Architectural Review, and it is for a one-year term, which ends at the reorganization meeting, subject, of course, to reappointment. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Tenari. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Christina. Your next meeting is not the 26th, by the way. It's the first Monday in February, right, John?
Yes, it should be February 2nd.
Okay. And again, anyone interested in joining the BZA or the planning board, please get in touch with me or Elizabeth at Village Hall. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, I circulated a fleet services proposal for our fleet of vehicles, not only at the DPW and as well as the three marked police cars. We've had this discussion already about the fact that we incurred tremendous repair bills, well over $40,000 for repair of the two diesel engines for the DPW. And I think it's absolutely essential that our vehicles and other equipment, not necessarily vehicles, other engine related equipment be maintained on a regular basis. If you've had a chance to review this proposal, there's monthly inspections this company will do. There's more significant seasonal inspections this company will do. And then there's an annual inspection. These vehicles are very important to the village. They are an important asset to the DPW, and we have to do our best to preserve their life expectancy for as long as possible. And I believe that this is an appropriate way to do this. I reached out to several other companies. I got no response, but Cherry Fleet Services, the owner of Cherry Fleet, came down. I met with him and Jeff in the village DPW garage. He looked at all the vehicles. He came back with the proposal that you saw. He did a spreadsheet, and I think we will be well served by hiring this company to ensure that our vehicles last as long as possible. Anybody else have any comments on that?
I think you just confirmed, I was just gonna ask if we had to bid it out or if we could just.
It's under 10.
Oh, so that's okay.
Yeah.
And then the other question, I know you said when this came up originally that you were gonna talk to the town to try to do something jointly. What happened?
Well, the town, dealing with the town, I'd rather not discuss this
Okay,
in
okay.
public.
It didn't work out.
It didn't, yeah, let's just say that any attempts to communicate with the highway department in the town in terms of sharing equipment and essentially working together as we used to do is difficult. And I'll leave it at that. I think we should have our own independent service for this particular work.
I think
Whether,
it'll be more regular too. I mean, they have a very strict schedule
Yeah,
they
the proposal
stick
was good.
to. Yeah, I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're still, I mean, I would hope that we would be able to work with the town in terms of sharing equipment and providing service to each other. But, you know, I tried that several years ago and that fell flat. So I think we should move forward with this proposal and then we'll see where we go with respect to the town in the future. All right? Okay, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approve the contract with Cherry Fleet Services to provide ongoing maintenance of DPW and also I note police vehicles, the 3 police vehicles, for a cost of $9,000 to be paid over a period of 12 months at $750 a month. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Turner. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay. Thank you. Okay, we have a request from an employee who incurred medical expenses in the prior year and unfortunately missed the deadline. However, the employee was advised by our broker that if the board approves these medical expenses through the HSA will be paid upon our consent.
Yeah.
And so I will make a motion, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approve a payment from an employee's fiscal year 2025 health savings account as instructed by Marshall and Sterling. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Scherer. And again, this money is coming out of the employee's health savings account. Okay,
Needs our approval.
it needs our approval. That's all it is. Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. I'd like to, it's not quite 8 o'clock. So we'll move on. We have one resolution with respect to PERMA.
And I had a trustee comment if you want to jump ahead, like however you want to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since we've moved very quickly, feel free, Trustee Scherer.
Okay, so this is a conversation that I had with Jim Hayes, and it's about the landscaping licensing. Right now, I think the process is that they need to sign a form
Right.
that holds them responsible. We'd like to suggest another step, which is they actually have to come in, meet with John Ledwith, have him explain to them what it is they're signing and the ramifications of, violating that agreement. We just wonder if having people go through that process might make them take it a little bit more seriously.
Is there a concern that they're not?
Yeah, there is.
Well, if there's a concern that they're not, maybe you should meet with the mayor.
Yeah, happy if the mayor,
Look, one question, if there's a concern that they're not,
yeah.
don't we have the ability to just pull the permit anyway? Like,
So
what's
it's, the answer is yes, if there's
Proof.
that's always the issue. I
Yep.
mean, I've had this conversation with a few different people that don't understand just sort of the practicalities of
It's
like,
It
like certain
requires
multiple
due
homes or whatever.
process.
100%.
They'd essentially have to have, it's,
I
this license is the right to do business in the village. And we'd have to have a hearing with
No, it's
evidentiary
not
proof.
that easy.
I don't know, we don't want to go there.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
You're saying you like similar to the police thing, you look someone in the eye
Just
and you.
like,
you
I think
actually-
it'll make them, and listen, I think, no disrespect, John, but another level up is the mayor. Like, if you have to look at the mayor in the eye and sort of say, yeah, I commit to doing X, Y, and Z.
And how many
That's a
licensed landscapers do we have? Do we know?
I don't remember what the list was up to.
30, 40?
I think it was over, I think it was at least 30.
At least 30.
Yeah, I think it was like,
We can have a group meeting.
reached
So
out.
I was gonna say that, why don't we schedule
Group meeting.
two different days or
Yeah,
3
that would
days?
be fine. That'd be
You
all.
know what? That's a good idea.
And they have to make one of those dates, otherwise they don't get
Two
signatures.
or 3 days,
Yeah.
they have to make those times.
Otherwise they
If
don't get signed
make it,
off.
Then.
Thank you. That would make my life much
Is
easier.
this an annual thing that they need to?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes,
that's-
it's annual. Yeah, the renewal.
Why don't we schedule 2 times and they have to make it?
Okay.
Yep.
All right, then we'll
We'll
move.
talk about dates.
We'll do that. The registration deadline, I think, is May for renewal, May 1st. So we have,
We can give them- we can-
we'll give them some
We
time.
can Give them some time. We
Yeah.
can do it in, end of February, March, before they get busy and
Yeah.
before they make mistakes.
Okay. All right. So
Before they
your
make mistakes.
your suggestion is adopted with certain amendments.
Okay, great, perfect.
Okay.
I think it's a good resolution.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go through a couple of other closing items. Audit of claims, budget transfers. Elizabeth, any budget transfers?
Yes.
Okay, could you describe them, please?
Sure. So I was going to recommend that we transfer $7,000 to the Lakes Management 1989.4 budget line. And that I'm pulling at the moment from unappropriated reserves. As we get closer to the end of the fiscal year and I have more of a sense of what budget lines have funds that are unused, I take from there. But earlier in the year, I prefer to just take from unappropriated reserves because we might just end up using that money that was budgeted for other expenses. And then I wanted to take $2,706 from WeWa donations for expenses that were incurred, charged to 7140.4, the recreation contractual line. And previously I had taken some money to cover WeWa expenses. And then I kind of I hate to say this, but I'd sort of forgotten about that donations line. So I'd like to transfer $8,200 from the donations line into the unappropriated reserves to sort of pay it back for the expenses that it covered on the recreation contractual line relating to the WeWa. I hope that makes sense.
Were these donations for the playground or were they donations for the WeWa general?
No, they were just generally donations for WeWa.
Okay.
Yeah, we
all right.
did get a lot of donations for the playground.
Yep.
And they were applied to the playground, but these are the others, because we have been getting donations for years for WeWa.
Okay.
So this is just the built up reservations.
Any questions from the board?
Elizabeth, just one question. How do the WeWa expenses come through? Are those these are all the contractual ones? Like the 8,000, that's like part of the lifeguard stuff, or what is that?
Well, yeah, that's the arch pools, and then
Okay.
there's just other things like Optimum and
Yeah, okay.
just,
But it's
and
part
then
of that group of things.
that's
Okay.
exactly it. And then we had a lot of the some various entertainment things like the ice cream truck and some crafts things that took place. So things like that.
Okay.
Anything else, board members? Okay, I think we have a representative from Zach Diaz.
John.
And John Tressel. Mr. Tressel, are you here for NICOM?
No, I'm here for the Comp Alliance. Barbara Epps coordinated myself and Elizabeth
Yes,
to get on this call and talk
it
about
is
the
through
Comp Alliance.
NICOM.
Okay, yeah, I'm only asking you that because we were notified a little more than a week ago that there was an alternative workers' compensation administration being set up through NICOM or about, with the support of NICOM. So thank you very much for coming. The floor is yours.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for having us. Appreciate it. Yes, we are a group workers' compensation program for public entities in the state of New York. We have approximately 370 members, 124 of them, which make up villages and cities, 174 are towns. And then there's some special districts, some school districts, and a county in there. So we've been around since 1994. We pride ourselves on stability. One of the things, and Elizabeth will like this, is we don't do payroll audits. So whatever that number we give you is the number you get from that perspective. We offer fixed year cost options. So depending on your premium, we could offer you 1, 2, or 3 years. So that's helpful too. Again, for Elizabeth, when she's doing the budgeting, if it is a 2-year deal, she can plug in that number right away. We have a vast array of risk management services that helps with the training and helps the village focus on losses and retrain people from time to time. We could come in and make suggestions. Obviously we don't tell you what to do. We make suggestions, and some of them will be stronger than others on some of the practices that you might have, and help the village reduce their workers' comp costs, because we like to come around after a year or two and offer a lower renewal. So that's helpful too as well. Like we say, yeah, there was an endorsement letter sent out by NICOM, because again, NICOM and NIAD, as they're called, the New York Association of Towns, are both our co-board members. So they support us, we support them in trainings, conference events. Like we'll be there at the legislative meeting at the beginning of February. We're there at the annual meeting in May, and then the fall training session too as well. And feel free at any time to answer any questions. I know I'm kind of going on what we do and how we do it. About 6 or 7 years ago, we started 2 awards program. The first one was the Member Loyalty Awards. Basically what that does is return a portion of our surplus. So our surplus has been good, in excess of only 44 million. So we give that back to the members that stay loyal to us and renew. So for example, there were some January renewals in our program. They will receive a check sometime in February. As well, we've started another one called the Safe Workplace Award, basically for members that are contributing to the program on their low losses, right? So they have a very low loss ratio versus their premium. As well, we added another aspect. It's like, hey, maybe you're struggling. We started a survey where you could get up to 3% there. So there's different ways on how you could bring money back from that perspective.
Let me ask you this, John. We're subject to a February 1st renewal, and I don't believe in the next 15 days that, at least from my experience with carriers, that you can actually you can quote us in 15 days. Am I incorrect?
We could turn around a quote, but the issue is, and like ourselves, and our competitors, what you have there now, and even the state fund is they require what they call a reservation of rights letter. And that has to be submitted 30 days before the renewal. That basically says like, hey, incumbent carrier, when we may not leave you, or we just want to look and see what other alternatives are out there. So we've kind of missed that. So that's the bad news. The good news is, now if we know you're interested, we can keep in contact with you all. And if you're at these NICOM events, we're always there. Stop by our booth, and as well too.
Is there any way to get like an indication on
100%
without this reservation?
Yes. So what I could do is I could send the information we need to Elizabeth, and if she could turn that around and get it. And really, if it's an indication, it's no rush from that perspective. But if you wanted to see before your renewal and put a little pressure on your incumbent and said, hey, we got an indication from the Comp Alliance that says it's X minus what we're proposing, what could you do here? So
well, they're going to respond. We haven't gotten a reservation of rights letter, so
it'll be good info for us.
But
anyway.
it would be very helpful to us.
Well, I was gonna say, we should look at it while it's on top of our mind right now. So, John, if you could prepare that for us, that would be great.
Sure.
Yeah, well, if you would stay in touch with Elizabeth, and whatever information you need, she'll be able to provide to you, and essentially give us some idea of what our annual premium would be.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
And then obviously, coverage, deductibles, all that good stuff. Yeah.
We don't have deductibles on our plan. It's just first dollar from that perspective. So That's helpful too.
Yeah.
Just to let you know too, the Comp Alliance is a supporter of Orange County events, being their golf outing in the summer. And then I'm not sure if anybody attends the Association of Towns annual meeting where there's a hospitality suite at the Michelangelo. So we support that too as well. So I do know there's some villages
food,
that
I
do
guess.
attend that. So
Yeah.
it's actually a really good event. Orange County does it right. So
Yeah, I've been there
Yeah,
several
okay.
times.
All right,
Great.
thank you. Any other questions from anybody else? Okay,
Thank you very
we'll look
much.
forward to hearing from you after you get the information you need. Thank you
Okay,
so
great.
much. Okay.
all right, thank you. Appreciate
Have a good
everybody's
evening.
time.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thanks.
night.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, now we move to closing comments. Any members of the public? It's your second opportunity for a 3-minute.
We need to do for a month.
Oh, thank you. Perma.
We
Yes,
do, right?
yes, we do. Thank you
Wow.
so much.
Yeah.
Adding value.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That was
Okay.
good.
All right. You're absolutely right. Let me get the perma
Special
resolution.
meeting.
I love it.
Right.
Good. Okay, I'll make the following motion. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees approve the renewal of perma third-party administration services for the sum of $42,275 to be charged to account code 9040.8 employee benefits workers' compensation. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Trustee Tenari. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Thanks for the heads up on that. They'd have to come back. All
So
right.
you just asked about public comment.
Yes, public comment. Any public comment from anyone on Zoom? Any trustee comments? Final comments? No. All right, at this point in time, we're going to enter executive session. I'll make the motion, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees leave the public meeting and enter executive session at 8:05 PM
Right.
To discuss.
to discuss security issues regarding the police department.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Council will join as well.
Who seconded that? I'm sorry.
You didn't actually get a second.
Trustee Scherer.
Josh.
Oh, you did?
Okay, be it resolved, I make the following motion, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees exit executive session and re-enter the public meeting at 8:27 PM. Do I have a second?
Okay.
Second by Trustee Tenari, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting at 8:28. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by the Deputy Mayor, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
Short-
everybody. Thank you very
Meeting.
much
Aye.
for everything.